Prince Andrew's life has been significantly altered. His home is in disrepair, he was snubbed at Beatrice's wedding and has lost his titles. The Duke of York's downfall was triggered by a disastrous BBC interview. Over 4 years have passed since his notorious Newsnight interview with Emily Maitlis, but the disgraced Duke will be forced to relive the embarrassing ordeal with the release of new Netflix drama, Scoop, which launches today. The series, featuring Billie Piper, Rufus Sewell, and Gillian Anderson, delves into the behind-the-scenes story of how the interview was arranged and reenacts parts of the explosive conversation. The interview, which aired in November 2019, caused a global stir as Andrew refused to express regret over his association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, famously mentioned a visit to Pizza Express and claimed he was medically unable to sweat. In the days following the broadcast, the Duke's life began to unravel and now it bears little resemblance to his former existence, as reports The Mirror. Excluded from royal duties prior to the Newsnight debacle, Andrew had a packed schedule of royal engagements. In the year leading up to the ill-fated interview, he undertook a total of 394 engagements, surpassing his nephew Prince William. Andrew's main tasks included promoting British businesses abroad as well as receiving foreign dignitaries visiting the UK on behalf of the late Queen. He also helped to set up and run the Dragon's Den-style initiative Pitch at Palace, which saw start-up business owners connected with potential investors during special events at Buckingham Palace, which proved to be highly successful. But just days after the interview, Andrew sensationally quit public life for the foreseeable future. In a statement, approved by the late Queen, he said it had become clear to him that his former association with Jeffrey Epstein has become a major disruption to my family's work. He expressed sympathy for the victims of the convicted sex offender and disgraced financier, saying he hoped they could rebuild their lives. He said, "I continue to unequivocally regret my ill-judged association with Jeffrey Epstein. His suicide has left many unanswered questions, particularly for his victims, and I deeply sympathize with everyone who has been affected and wants some form of closure. I can only hope that, in time, they will be able to rebuild their lives. Of course, I am willing to help any appropriate law enforcement agency with their investigations, if required." The decision resulted in him missing out on an honorary Navy promotion, and he was not awarded the rank of Admiral on his 60th birthday as anticipated several months later. Andrew now only makes brief appearances at royal events that are considered family occasions. These have included the late Queen's funeral, the King's coronation and a memorial for the former King Constantine of Greece. However, it raised eyebrows when he played a significant role at a memorial service for Prince Philip, where he escorted his mother into Westminster Abbey. Most recently, he joined a small group of royals at St George's Chapel in Windsor for Easter Sunday church service. He hasn't been forced to miss other royal milestones, including Trooping the Colour, Remembrance Sunday, and Commonwealth Day, with a case of COVID ruling him out of participating in the Platinum Jubilee celebrations in 2022. He was also noticeably absent from the official photos from his oldest daughter Princess Beatrice's lockdown wedding. Beatrice married husband Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi in a low-key ceremony in Windsor under COVID restrictions. In stark contrast to Princess Eugenie's 2018 televised wedding to Jack Brooksbank, fewer than 20 guests graced the occasion this time around. A curious fact from the official wedding snaps made public was the striking absence of the bride's father, with images featuring only the late Queen and Prince Philip happily standing alongside the freshly wed couple. The decision to not include him in these photos was believed to be inspired by advice from courtiers in tandem with family consensus. Civil lawsuit. The woes seemed to pile on for Andrew as Virginia Giuffre initiated a lawsuit against him for alleged civil sexual assault early in 2021 in New York. She claimed that Epstein and British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell had directed her to engage sexually with the prince at locations including Epstein's New York mansion when she was 17. The allegations have consistently been refuted by the prince, who professed having no recollection whatsoever of their meeting. As the case edged closer to court in early 2022, the late Queen called her second son in for a serious discussion, where she relayed to him that he shall no longer bear the title His Royal Highness in any official capacity. A slew of his military positions and patronage affiliations were subsequently annulled, dealing yet another blow to the embattled royal. Eventually, both parties decided on an out-of-court resolution rumoured to be approximate in value to £12 million. There were no declarations of guilt, wrongdoing or liability in the agreement on behalf of Prince Andrew. Dispute surrounding deteriorating home. Andrew continues to reside in his grand 30-room Windsor home, Royal Lodge, which he shares with ex-wife Sarah Ferguson. Despite their divorce nearly 3 decades ago, the pair remain close, as evidenced by Fergie accompanying Andrew to an Easter Sunday service. In a bid to streamline the monarchy, King Charles proposed relocating Andrew from his property to Frogmore Cottage, a smaller abode recently refurbished by Prince Harry and his bride Meghan Markle. However, following negotiations, the King eventually authorized Andrew's indefinite stay at Royal Lodge, granting him a stay of execution. Join the Daily Record's WhatsApp community here and get the latest news sent straight to your messages. This is despite a significant reduction in Andrew's £250,000 yearly allowance from royal coffers, coupled with the home requiring an estimated £2 million worth of restorations. Today, Andrew is frequently seen spending his time horse riding near his residence. While rumours suggest the Duke harboured aspirations of resuming public service, such expectations seem increasingly unlikely. Nonetheless, one renowned royal author opines that King Charles will not entirely distance himself from his brother. Robert Hardman, author of Charles III, reports that royal insiders are keen to keep Prince Andrew within reach. He said one insider said Andrew could be far more damaging outside the loop. Another source told him, the king will not just cast his brother adrift. He is very fond of his nieces, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. And at least, Andrew hasn't been disloyal. But any return to public life is out of the question. His legal problems are not resolved, the public don't want him, and many people still remember his rudeness last time round.